Hey there, and welcome back to Daily Challenges, an educational monster train series where we try to push score on the daily leaderboards. I was today years old when I realized that the daily leaderboards on mobile are the same as the daily leaderboards on PC. I didn't know that. So I didn't actually start the daily on mobile, but I almost played it. I did note, I was like, you know what? Let me actually test this. Let's find out if it's the same. And it is, in fact, still Sentient Shade Splitter with these mutators. So I didn't spoil myself. But that is something I wasn't expecting. For some reason, I thought that they would be different dailies, I guess. I don't know what made me think about that, but I'm pretty sure the Nintendo Switch has different dailies, right? Because it's a completely different platform. I guess I assumed that mobile would as well, but it doesn't. TIL. So, speaking of this daily, though, there's actually a modifier here I don't think I've ever played with before, so that's fun. Front loaded, -3 Ember per turn, gain 20 Ember at the beginning of each battle, start with the Unbroken Horn. I'm not really sure. It is a positive benefit, but with a very tangible downside. So I don't know how much they consider this a positive in their math, in the calculus for what constitutes a daily, but this doesn't seem very positive to me in general. I mean, if you imagine this, think about how many turns of combat you have on the Divinity, right? It's like 9 turns. So, okay, with 9 turns and then relentless, that's not a lot here, right? You run out of Ember even if you're only playing 3 per turn. Now, obviously, it's a daily, so hopefully you're going faster than that, which means if you're doing all 20 Ember in one turn, that's pretty good, but we're still counting against the normal bosses on rings 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7, which will slow you down a little bit. Now, granted, you can be a little more front loaded, as the name implies, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think it's that positive, honestly. But, it's still good. It's decent. It's better than nothing, right? I definitely think it is positive. I just don't think it's that positive. Then we get musical chairs, shuffle the position of all units on the train after combat. It's bad, I think. Generally speaking, this is a pretty terrible one. It means you cannot have a reliable frontliner. So, not that we're always looking for one, but it is a helpful archetype to plan around. In this particular instance, we're going to probably just be loading the floor up with whatever we can do. The other problem here is we have Big Chungus. All friendly units get +1 space. And we're Shade Splitters, which means morsels are a pain. And we're Sentient, which means this clan combo does kind of suck. So we're going to be suffering pretty badly here, I think. Now, someone did score, what is this, 7K-ish above the number 2. Look at the gulf here between first place and second place. Absolutely wild. Someone figured out some tech here to do really well. I don't know. I could see myself losing this run, right? It's not terribly strong. Now, there might be ways of making this work, right? I don't actually know, but we'll have to see. This clan combo is notoriously bad in normal gameplay, and these mutators don't feel particularly abusable in a good way, right? I mean, because think about this. Like, okay, maybe we see Shadow Siege. I take space. Possibly we could, like, assemble a floor with Shadow Sieges. But, because Shadow Siege can't get bigger, right? He's already 6 space. 6 space is the maximum, so +1 space doesn't affect him. So if we take 1 space, he is playable, right? Because front loaded is available and you get all your Ember up front. So you have some options here, but it is difficult. We'd have to see Shadow Siege, right? It's the only thing that immediately jumps to mind as an option. I guess we'll see. I don't have much else to add. We had a really good run last time around, number 6 finish. I always feel good hitting the top 10. I think that's an important landmark for me, a milestone that I want to try to aim for every run that I play this series, is top 10 somewhere. Especially because I think top 1 is difficult to see sometimes. There's a level of foresight required, and I think that comes largely with familiarity. I think I've played maybe 20 of these in my life, so trying to trying to make it work in a number one sense is not going to be consistent, right? Things like, ooh, I should definitely take this fledgling imp as a possible infusion. That's not something that really enters my brain space right now, because I'm very much in a Covenant 25 mindset where such a thing would be way too slow and very weak at scaling, right? Unless, of course, you're putting it in another imp, in which case, great, awesome, repeatedly use that thing. But yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully we do pretty well, and yeah, not too terribly much else to report. So let's go ahead and get in. As always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and see what we run into today. What sort of funky business can we get in this run? I don't know. I don't have any confidence that we'll crack 80 though, but we'll see. Maybe we can figure it out. Yikes. Alright. Hopefully you're all doing well today. I'm doing just fine. It's a little bit of a lot later recording than I normally would do for this particular one. Normally I try to get this done earlier in the day, but I had a donut for breakfast and watched some Futurama, which is an excellent morning for me, so that is all good. We're recording this a little bit later as a result. All good, though. Hopefully you're all doing well, though. Today we are default Awoken, default Umbra. We're facing Raged Hallow, Spell Shield Arcus, Chaste Seraph with Vine Grasp, Making of a Morsel, and Edge Prior. Everything here is much worse because of space requirements. This is going to be a struggle. Big Chungus is perhaps the absolute worst modifier in my opinion, because it is a force multiplier in the negative direction. It is such a big force multiplier in the negative direction that if you can't overcome this, you basically can't assemble a floor, right? So, pretty rough. Yeah, none of these cards are particularly fantastic, but I guess there's something, right? Yeah, you know the mutators. Okay, let's see what we have. Temples today are on 3, 4, 6, and 8. Fine, we'll take everything, just because I think that's a good baseline. And we might lose if the run is too difficult and we can't assemble a solid line, but I think at a minimum we should plan around taking everything. Dupe on 8 is on the steel side. Okay, sure. There's Money Trinket Shop on 7. It's fine. But it competes with a really good magic shop with Vortex and Cave. I do like that. There's a lot of high rolls that could show up in a cave, especially because there's not a lot of high rolls that could show up in a Merchant of Trinkets on this particular clan combo. Steel and Magic on 5, nothing particularly special here. Removal Dupe Cave on 5 is very strong, competes with a Steel Shop. It's good to know. We do get another Steel on 4 with no magic, which does mean that we have double magics early. Good to know. There's an Awoken banner on the Vortex Horde side on 4, which is nice if I don't need that Steel Shop, right? What else? Ah, yes, banner situation. Forced Awoken banner on 2, Umbra banner on 3. I think we will go to this Umbra banner just because I do think looking for a Shadow Siege would be a good pickup. Looking for something strong, maybe? I don't know. Going to an Umbra banner intentionally is kind of weird, but I don't think we have much of a choice. This is definitely Root Split Mask. Bloating Fungus is nice here to keep my floor alive, but I think buying another turn is important. This is very relevant, I think. Yes, I think it is. This is a toughie, actually. No, it's not a toughie. Bloating Fungus is much worse because we have fewer restores, so it's definitely Root Split Mask. We'll take the money, of course. It's Covenant 1. It's Covenant 1. So I need to think about this. Is Explosive better on Covenant 1? Probably, actually. Probably? That's a very interesting question. I think maybe so. Huh. This is not something I would normally consider or toil over. On Covenant 25, I feel like this is obvious. Explosive is horrible. It simply cannot account for the maximum health of enemies. But enemies are significantly weaker on Covenant 1. So Explosive's calculus is very different. I think I might go with Explosive here. Is this crazy? I actually don't know. I'm not sure how it performs here. This is a very interesting challenge for me, because this is not something I normally do. I don't think I've ever played this with explosive on a daily. What would you all do here, right? A very integral and core decision to the run right away. Is explosive obviously good on Covenant 1? I think the calculus works out in its favor, and I think we're weak enough in order to play bottom. This will help us. So let's actually try explosive here. If I lose or do terribly, it's fine. I'm not actually upset about it. Right? It's okay. I'm not mad. It's a daily, right? So let's explore. Mark of Invasion. Spikes would have been better for this particular one. I think we still take this, but... Now see, here's the immediate problem, is I don't have any healing on my turn 1, so... She's huge. It's funny. I think I am going to stab a dude upstairs here. Morsel Minor. I think putting some stats downstairs is important, so we'll do that. These units are both dead if I play them, so let's not waste the Ember. Oh, right, they shuffle. How interesting. Right. What if I grab the money here? This is easy. We just slam the restores. Bottom floor clears itself out, no problem. You willing to trade a little bit of health here? Maybe so. Yeah, I'll get the money. Is this right? We're taking 2. I could have taken 1. We're giving up 2% here, but I think that money puts us ahead in a reasonable way. Yeah, I think the money is worth it here. We're going to take a little bit of damage. I'd like to see if I can stop more of it, but we'll take 2 here. I want to try to stop... Shade Splitter. We'll crack both Shade Splitters here. Okay, so with this in mind, I can do... What's coming up? Another Train Steward. We'll do Train Steward, Excavator here, which does stop some incoming damage. Right? Then we get 3 more. But we should win downstairs. If I play the Miner here. Yeah, alright. And I was going to say this Train Steward guarantees we clear up top, so... Alright, we take 5, but we get the bottom floor kill. I don't know if we would have gotten that with spikes, but interesting. Healing, I think, will be important. Let's take the Wildwood Sap. Or the Restoration Detonation, honestly, is also pretty good here, but... Maybe it's Restoration Detonation? I don't know, I like Wildwood Sap here. I think it's just a good card for this situation. I think we should take Perils to increase our damage. There's a lot of possibility here. It also generates Ember, but it will... We conserve Ember between turns. The Ember Drain will eat our everything. But if we get to the point where I'm just generating... If I hit the holdover on this, it doesn't matter. Space Prism might be more important, though, right? Think about that. Yeah, think about that one. I think you should take the Perils, though, right? It's damage scaling. I think we should take this. It's maybe a little slow, but it's better than nothing here. And we need to do better than nothing. I think I'm going to grab that. This is a toughie. I don't actually know. I do want to look at a unit here. Yeah, I do. Money for sure. Steel Shop says large stone. Funny. Awoken Hollow. No, I've already kind of gone in on Rejuvenate Sentient, so let's go with the Animus of Will here. The unfortunate thing about this is so big, I can't put them together, and if I could, it wouldn't matter because musical chairs. But this, I mean, if we see something really impressive... It's large stone. I mean, they're already so huge, I kind of don't care. Let's go large stone here, actually, and then re-roll you. You want to go large stone quick? Stick it upstairs or something. Put damage numbers into that. I think I want to save this slot, potentially. Is quick better than nothing? Is it right? I'd like to hold out for another multi-strike, maybe. I don't think quick is correct here. Yeah, we'll move on. It's always confusing always having so much money in this. I do want this unit draft, yes. Okay, our plan here is... Big Animus goes, what, middle or bottom? Maybe you win on bottom if I just play you here, yeah? And then... I can't actually fit them on the floor with the Animus. That's funny. It's extremely funny, actually. Train Steward can go upstairs. I do want a restore mid-floor, and I do want the Wildwood at bottom so I don't lose. Now, the interesting thing is I'm basically getting 3 Rage for 3 fewer Ember next turn, but I gain 3 Ember, so I think this actually works out in my favor here. Yeah, I think it doesn't really change anything. Yeah, I think that's true, actually. And we just stab this person repeatedly and they're gone. Okay, do we win bottom floor? No. Okay, so I should have played Sentient bottom floor because I think she wins this. Okay, we'll try again. Bizarre. Okay, so here we are. We just kind of switched the order here. We're going to go Sentient bottom floor. The fact that you can't fit large stone Animus plus the thing is kind of wild. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put a Shade Splitter upstairs for that eventual Train Steward. We blast downstairs, and that's fine. We take the Perils mid-floor is good, and Train Steward up top. The rest of this we kind of just chill on. We clear middle, which is good. Great. Keep the regen flowing. We definitely want the miner downstairs for sure. None of this really matters on middle. Put the miner down. That swings this in a good way. Interesting. What if I pull you forward? Pushes a little more in, but not enough to win on this floor. I don't know what I could have done differently on this particular one. Yeah, none of this really stands out to me, so I think we're going to have to accept that with our choices, we only get the mid-floor here. You just pull this man forward and we have the win on this one. Yeah, alright, we get it on middle. It's annoying. I think we're already behind on this by a lot. I'm going to take the Restoration Detonation, I think. I do want that card. Maybe Explosive Sentient is way too weak? Too slow? Maybe Spikes would have been way better here? Hard to say. All these morsel cards I do not want because, oh my gosh, morsels are too big. So we skip those. Animus of Will number 2, Self-Infuse, is possibly the right angle, but I would desperately be relying on Spell Chain holdover on the Perils in that instance. I think we should take it just in case. I think we should, yes. Umbra banner? What could this show me? I don't know. Magic Shop could show me holdover, and if I hit the spell chain, that's big. It's not very fast, is the problem. If this... What would I dupe if I went to the dupe, is the thing. I don't have a good dupe. I think we... I don't know. I think we want to go to the Magic Shop here. This is rough, but I think we have a better shot of finding value here. -1, +10, sure. Divine Temple today says +30. I'm going to go ahead and 10 in piercing, +30, this restoration detonation. It's fine, it's a big blast. I do need to infuse something here. I think the infusion right now I want to keep open on my Animus, so we're just going to do Train Steward Self-Infuse. Actually, I'm going to go Edge Prior into Train Steward. This is a heal to the floor, which is probably not useful, but it works out. We want -1s on pretty much every restore, but I do need to keep in mind that they're also my potential magic power sources, so don't over-upgrade them. I do not... Wildwood Sap is too slow to invest like this. Alright, we miss. Okay, it's fine. I do think making things cheaper is good. I think with 4 temples, I've already done 1 infusion. I can do 1, 2, possibly 3, so I take 1 more unit, basically. I think I might consider cutting the Edge Prior Train Steward, though. We're just going to drop him real quick, the guy that I've already infused, and I'm going to sit on this. We're going to look at the cave. Spell Rail Spike versus a Monster Rail Spike. Interesting. Interesting, huh? Now, I think it might be really valuable to purge the Animus here. Ooh, it's tough. If I'm looking for cannon fodder infusions, I think the right play is not to do that. I think we put a purge into the Train Steward, but we sit on it for the moment. Unless I do want it, right? We don't want to actually purge this guy yet, because I need him to be infused. But I guess if I had actually looked at this first, I could have purged before buying the removal. That's not something I normally would have considered, but it is potentially helpful. Let's move on then. Save our money, I think. It's not particularly strong. I don't feel great about where we're at in terms of power level. Is the main problem I'm facing here. Like, I can't... So here's one thing I might consider is putting the Making of a Morsel into the Animus up top. And then I pretty much have to play Sentient mid-floor here or she dies. I could have put down that Animus, but she still probably passes away if I do that, right? It's a little difficult to say. Man, really? Alright, this is rough. Okay, back up. Hold up. Challenges, daily challenges. Alright, how am I going to approach this? This is a rough combat. Everything is huge. Bad floors. Now, if I play this Animus downstairs, she does barely live, but does live, which is potentially relevant. We'll play the other one upstairs. Fine. Okay. She does swing at least, which is something. Lets me get the healing on mid-floor. I can stab someone on bottom. And I can face tank upstairs with a morsel so that we at least come out positive a little bit. Okay. Miner up top. It is still correct to play the perils here. We'll Shade Splitter middle. Fine. Because I should have stabbed the boss. It would have been 3 damage improved. It's a little interesting thinking this through. Now, I could do some serious work by just shooting mid-floor here. Pop an enemy. That's something. Are you dying up top? No. So let's give you some stats. Play out a Train Steward. There's no reason to do anything else on this floor. Sure. She goes middle now. Definitely want to shoot something, but I think the play is stab the 2 in front, then shoot 1. This keeps the floor floating. Ooh, the Umbra morsel actually lives upstairs. That's a nice swing. You gotta remember, we're not actually generating any Ember right now, so we're in a bit of a rough spot on this one. Yeah, it's not ideal. I don't know how to feel about where we're at. Do I even win this combat? Maybe not. Put that down here. I mean, that at least does like 100 here, which is something. It's not very good. Do I win up top? Currently, no. Ooh, the lifesteal's actually a big swing and lets us get this win. I mean, that's pretty rough if I'm being honest with you. This is a bad Talos kill. Now, the next question I have to ask myself, I wonder if that Umbra banner was just significantly better. Maybe, could it have been? The only thing I could think of that would have been awesome would have been Shadow Siege, but I don't think we could. I don't know. Was he there? Maybe. It's such a run though. It's statistically a lot less likely than finding holdover, right? I don't think we could have done better here. I don't think we could have done better here. I don't know what else to say. This is pretty rough. We get out of this combat. We at least kill her without taking damage. I'm going to grab this Furnace Tap, and we're going to go hard on looking for, gosh, I don't know, anything useful. Maybe the Awoken's Rail Spike and try to go infinite off of it. Dicey both ways. I think Furnace Tap, if we permafrost it, at least it does something. We want to look at magic shops, maybe. I think that's the play. None of these are great. Gosh, alright. So, with that in mind, I have to draft something here. I have to, in order to have enough units, right? I need 1 infusion, 2 infusion, and then a 3rd infusion left. So, I have to draft something. It's not the Awoken Hollow. It's never the Awoken Hollow. It's maybe the Animus of Speed? Maybe, I guess. Sure. Alright, fine. Do I have to take space? I think I might have to take space, which is a real bummer if true. Man, this run is awful. This run is terrible. Terrible. Big Chungus is such a detriment. I don't even know if I can keep taking Pact Shards. I feel so weak, right? I feel so far behind that if I just keep slamming Pact Shards, we're going to have a bad time. I'm going to take space because I think I need it in order to fit anything together. I'm going to go to the right here. As much as I think I'd like to look at this unit draft, there's nothing there that I think would be that impressive. So, I don't know. Quick is not terrible, but it's also not great. I'm going to re-roll there. Endless. Bummer, man. Really rough. Cultivating is potentially really important here. I'm going to go Explosive too. I think the more damage is pretty impactful here. We're in a really weird and bad situation. I'm going to Spell Chain the Perils on this one. I'm going to Purge a Shade Splitter, get rid of that. I'm gonna go Animus into Animus here, which I think is pretty important. Am I? Man, it's rough. I don't want to put something behind Sentient. I want something that stands alone. Our damage scaling is basically non-existent, right? Essentially. 120 Pact Shards right here. It's bad. It's bad. I don't think we... I don't know. I don't feel great about pretty much anything here, but Explosive Sentient is going to be doing a lot of work, I believe. I'm going to Animus of Speed in front, and it will get shot, and that will probably be enough. I'm going to play out both the Train Stewards, and we're going to sit on the rest of this. Definitely play every Restore downstairs. It's valuable. We're going to go Animus of Will mid-floor. She at least swings, but she does absolutely no damage. So, I mean, that's bad, right? I might have to switch this up a bit. I don't see how we actually win, though, right? How am I... In what world do I actually kill this floor? I have to do something like the Perils of Spellchain here, and I have to fish for, what, some good morsel? Like, it's fine, but it's not great. How do I not just lose on top floor to these guys, huh? Okay. Pretty rough. We're gonna have to blast middle. We clear middle. I think we have to face tank here. Still lose them? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. That's pretty rough. That is a pretty rough challenge. This is... I think I'm being too aggressive, and I'm way more Pact Shards than I think I should be taking here, right? First order of business. Way too many Pact Shards. The thing is that, like, this run is so outside of my comfort zone in terms of the right way to play this that I honestly don't think even replaying this run I would know how to balance score versus the ability to win, right? This is so far beyond how I normally play Monster Train that I think we need to acknowledge that. So I think we have to acknowledge that we want... Right, we have to play higher floors. We have to play a higher floor. Shade Splitter can pop out here. Great. It's an Ember. Generator, fine. Great. We play a bunch of stuff middle. Some solid work here. Good. I think you have to play like this, right? I think so. We do the shuffle. This puts this man in front. Okay. We buff upstairs. Yes, I am going to take the making of a morsel here. It's good to do it. Don't purge this Train Steward yet. I need to make sure top floor can kill this wave, but I also need to make sure... Yeah, alright. Good. Top floor wins. Good. This is acceptable. Take the lifesteal. This looks okay for the moment. Alright. First order of business is we play the Perils of Production. Top floor clears. So the play then is restore singular, blast, restore, morsel. Okay, we hold together here. We're holding on. It's not great, but we do it. Play the Shade Splitter. I do want that Ember, yes. Okay, generate more regen. Do not play Furnace Tap here. We want to put... the big man in front so that it switches And then, because I want to actually shoot out this front guy. Now, unfortunately, terrible draws here. So, we're going to fish for a lifesteal morsel, and we don't get it, and that will have to do. Alright, fine. Let's play a making of a morsel here. It might matter somewhat. It does do something, which is nice. Sure, I'll take it. Okay. I don't want to switch this order. I want that guy that's doing 6 damage to die. Okay. Can I win upstairs? No, but I'm not dead. And that, I suppose, is going to have to be good enough here. Yikes. It's a lot of incoming damage. Oh, I actually am dead. Never mind. I didn't run the math correctly. Gross. Okay, I think there's a way through this. I think there is. I do think it's correct. If we do Sentient here, let's put the Animus in front so it pivots to the back. Let's get the train stewards shot. Okay, this is fine. We play big Animus. Great. This is no problem. Our whole goal here is basically push numbers. Seems solid. I want to pull small guy forward to switch big guy in next. Great. Definitely morsel minor. I am going to play the perils here. I think it's important. Okay, they switch orders. Now, can I live upstairs? I think we can. Mid-floor is okay. I think we're going to blast upstairs and we live. Alright, we take the lifesteal here. I do think the regen is important mid-floor. Who do I not want in front? That's a good question. I think we want to cycle interesting questions. I think I would like one of these back guys in, so I'm going to go ahead and play it in the front there. Acceptable. Yeah, it shuffles like this, which is fine. I think you do want restore here. Now, interestingly, there's a strong argument for clearing top floor here. But I think more than anything, I have to kill mid-floor. Let's put that regen in. Damage shield can go here. Alright. How do I live here? I think what happens is she's dying to spikes. Is that true? I think so. 23. And then 4, and then a few hits, and a hit into this. 23. Oh yeah, 6. So 29 dies to this. So healing for 2 is not enough. The way I have to do this is I have to making of a morsel tank, and then we clear it. That's true. That is a true statement. Okay. Crazy. Alright. Do I get out of this? Am I going to live? I did want to keep it like this because I think it's better. Decent rolls there. I'll take the health here. I wonder if it's better to pull forward here, actually. It steals a little bit of life, but I think it's okay, right? I'm not upset about it, because it gets rid of this thing that's going to be pummeling my unit upstairs. $18 health. I mean, we put this in front. Alright, still losing by... What is this? A lot here, I think? Math. 411 minus 256 divided by 30 is 6 hits times 18. We live with 2 health. I do actually live with 2 health, which is fine. Gosh, that's horrible. Can I do better? Maybe? I'm gonna let it ride, I think. Oof, it's bad. It's bad, but we live with 2 health. And on that note, I need to step away for a moment and check something out. I heard a noise downstairs. I will be right back. Alright, and we're back. Survived. Nothing crazy happened as it turned out. Just, you know, cat's going nuts. So, all good there. You still have to check in on these things because you never know when it's going to be, oh no, and now something is broken, or I don't know, maybe there's a candle that fell over. You don't want to mess around. We always check in on sounds. Anyway, all is well. I have 2 health left. Not all is well. We're alive. You know, this run is terrible. I'm going to click and graph. This is a fantastic card for what we're trying to do. I'd like Channel Song, but this run needs engraft because I have picked Sentient with Explosive. I guess that's what we're dealing with. Prism Retrieval's not terrible, but I need to be very careful about X-cost cards here. I wonder if there's a world I should have taken that Awoken's Rail Spike and just sent, like, all of my Ember here. Huh. Is that maybe the elite tech that I didn't think of? You know, it's the problem is you have so much Ember you don't draw enough. But what if I remove down enough to make everything free? Then it's fine. Interesting. Well, I don't. It's a little too late now. I'll take it if I see it again, but Grovel, no, I don't want any morsel generation here. We're skipping. We're not dead, which is maybe the best I can ask for here. I'm going to probably take this Divine Worn Grindstone so I don't lose. Like, just unironically grab this real quick. Seems useful to me. That plus 10 is going to help my struggling Animus. A removal dupe is tempting. Oh, man, it's tough. I'm going to go left, and we're going to removal dupe it up, I think. You only live once, right? The removals here are actually just Shade Splitters. These cards are rough, and I do not want them. Sure. I'll look at this Horde. Winged Technology. Mind Jacks, I mean, that's what? 6, 7, 8 space on middle? It's... You know, it's interesting because 8 space means I could put both 2 Animus copies on that floor, potentially. Or I could put the Sentient on that floor with Animus, potentially. And then I could actually rearrange it with the Vine Grasp. I wonder if that's the right choice. It might be, actually. I'm going to take it. Seems good. Let's go ahead and look at this cave first. I'm probably duping Perils. Ooh, or we can get Tiny Stone. Or I can get Huge. How much space do I have on this floor? 6, 8 right now. 8 space. That is a big jump in damage, huh? Now you gotta remember, 10 of this is not real, so I'd really only be at like 33 by 4, but still, that's 120 damage. I wonder if we do this, can we see like sketches maybe? Maybe I dupe this thing, roll into sketches at some point and have a decent run of it. It's maybe possible. Maybe. Tiny Stone is very tempting, but I actually think I need to be a behemoth here. It's a little shame I didn't see like a multi-strike or something first. Or put the quick in. If I'd put the quick in this thing, that would have been pretty good. Maybe I should have done that when I had the chance. That's maybe a mistake. I was holding out for a multi-strike, but we didn't end up going the route that it mattered. So I should have grabbed the quick. That's almost certainly correct. Let's make him huge. I think this will have to do. That's a real bummer not having the quick in for that. And then I think we do need to dupe this thing, actually, right? Have a second one, and we move on. This will at least enable me to be reasonably powerful into this combat. I think we're okay to take this trial now. The plan is one of them goes middle, one of them goes bottom. There's a strong argument for... Yeah, we're going to play it middle so I can give it a morsel, and then we'll put this down here. And I'm not going to put the train steward down. I could sack the train steward, but I don't think I need to. I mean, I may as well actually get the stab in, right? It's fine. Shuffles it around. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to work on bottom floor here. Play the other big one up top. Now, unfortunately... Does this cost me the collector to have done it this way? Maybe. Let's back out real quick. Sacrificing that unit may have been a mistake. I'm trying to make space here, but it's possible we could have gotten the collector. So let's be a little more conscientious about that, right? Put the train steward in the back, gets this kill, which swings this. Now... Taking the furnace tap now is an option, but it is a rough option because that's going to drain 4, 3, 2, 1, 8 Ember. 8 Ember is a pretty substantial drain. I'm going to do it, actually, right? It's actually way more than 8 when you think about the math here. We do get it, though. Which is not bad. We do get it. Pretty good to have gotten it. Okay. Mid-floor holds out. We will blast bottom floor here. Doing okay. Take this up here. I'm definitely going to pull forward and stop some of this damage. I think that's correct. I'll get the train steward shot here. I think that is the right choice. Okay. Definitely play the perils. We're a little reliant on this now. I'm going to pull forward the big guy, shoot it. That's pretty decent. I could ping here, or I could blast up middle. I think getting health on my middle floor guy is actually super correct. I'm not going to play this train steward yet. I realize that's a weird choice, but I think it's still correct to do it. Can't play anything here. Fine. Alright, we get the perils, which is good. I can play the engraft here, which lets me drop a miner here. We should win on middle. I think that's true. Yeah, we do. Great. You know what? Honestly, pretty decent. Pretty decent, all things considered. I'm not mad about how that played out. Okay. It's good. It's good. Preserved Thorns is maybe fine. Awake is not a bad play, but it's a little expensive. I don't want expensive plays like this. Let's take this Preserved Thorns. These are good. They speed me up a bit. I'm going to grab this Void Binding, and we're just going to go ham on this sort of business, I think, is fine. I'm going to go to the right. I want to see a magic shop here for sure. Board says, improved Firebox. Honestly, probably pretty good. Refined Void is not terrible, but it's quickly wasted. I'll take the free extra 7 Ember, honestly. We're going to go in here. The -2. Interesting. 10 in Piercing is going to go into a Vine Grasp, for sure. The infusion here is going to be Animus of Speed into a Train Steward that is purging, so that I can just simply purge him. I'll think about that -2 depending on what's in this magic shop. Yeah, alright. Double stack Void Binding at a -2 is pretty killer. So we will take that. That's a good pickup. And then the -1 is going to go into Engraft. It is an Ember Generator now. Very important. I'm going to take a +10 on the Engraft as well. seems good. We need to upgrade here. Okay. We do not get holdover, which is a bummer, but is okay. I'm going to put a +10 in one of these restores because I think we do need it. I'm going to buy removals on making of a morsel, possibly. I'm thinking because +6/+6 is not bad to add, but I think we do want to get rid of these, right? I think so. Alright, we're investing in the removals. There's not a lot remaining at this point in our deck, and we're pretty quick through it. Almost all of it is free or goes away on the first play. And we're going to be purging one of these the train steward that just got infused right away. So I feel reasonable about our state of things. Yes, I think I feel... The only thing I'm really losing out on is Restoration Detonation, but I'm not mad about it. It's a power play, but that's okay. I think we're alright. I definitely think I want to dupe this Perils. Maybe we see an Intrinsic, and that could be very cool. And then we dupe that on ring 8. Possibly. Interesting. Not entirely sure what the angle is here, but we're formulating something decent at least. We're definitely not number 1. We've lost 4,000 points just by botching ring 4, so, you know, fair enough. What if we cut the other Vine Grasp here? I'm basically just debating what is the right way of speeding up my draws. I'm going to cut this Vine Grasp. We're going to leave in the 10 and Piercing 1, and we're going to move on. I was also considering remove Consume on Furnace Tap, but I think 1 is enough here. It's going to be really difficult to redraw that and replay it, is the problem. I pretty much have to hit it with the Perils, which without holdover makes it quite difficult. And the dupe on 8 is on the steel side, so we really only get the one last chance at holdover. Let's go ahead and move on here. I think that's acceptable. It's too bad I don't have quick on my Animus. That's a me mistake here. Okay. Sentient can just kind of chill downstairs. I think that's fine. And then she blows up a dude. Great work. We're going to burn the Animus Purge dude down here, and that's fine. I am going to play Perils middle. It is correct to do it. What is this? It's a bit of a bummer. Going to shoot a dude bottom floor. Great. I am going to drop this Void Binding here because I think it's important to do it. Yeah, you want to just play the Furnace Tap right now and never draw another card, and never generate Ember again? You know, fair enough, I suppose. I do want to play Stings into the boss here, draw me faster. Unfortunately, these Train Stewards never get played out right now, so that's a bit of a bummer. Play the Perils, play the Engraft. It's not the right floor for this, unfortunately, so we're going to Sting middle here. I think we unfortunately do need to play something down here. It's going to be the Restoration Detonation, so let's just funnel some stats elsewhere up top. I'm going to stab my own character to avoid the Ember Drain, and then we blow up bottom floor and we don't further incant, which does push us in a good direction here. That's acceptable. Cool, this is fine. Engraft generating the Ember, it's important. Here's Void Binding. Sadly, the stealth causing me problems downstairs. That's okay. We'll blow up down here. We'll do a lot of damage. We sting. It's fine. We restore. It's fine. Okay. Alright. Doing decently. We will absolutely play the perils. I'm going to blow up a guy downstairs. I'm going to not sting into the incants. That's acceptable. Sure, sure, sure. What is this? Rally Shard. We can work with that. No problem. We'll just play all of these out. Pretty decent. And then we end up with the Void Binding middle. I think we win this Relentless off this Void Binding no matter what, which is pretty good to me. We're doing plenty of damage on mid-floor right now. We can push a little bit of damage here, which we will do. Sting out. This at least pushes through, I think, most of the stealth. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to deal with a little bit more, but we're okay, right? Thanks largely to 12 damage shield from that Void Binding. We're doing all right here. Yeah. It's decent, right? It's a decent play. We can at least take the Quick Tome and make up for the fact that I didn't do this before. Channel Song is going to become decent, but Wildwood Tome, I think, is a more relevant play. Card draw, I think it's got to be card draw, and it's not even close. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to go to this magic shop because a holdover is still huge and removals are still valid. So we'll do this. I'm going to look at the magic shop. Where's my holdover? Where my holdover at? Am I just going to click Explosive 3? Probably. Actually, probably. Sure. Divine Horde, Emblem of the Exiles, Chain of Gems, both of these are pretty decent. I'm going to take the Emblem, though, I think. It affects multiples of my floors. We'll look at the caves real fast. Oh, upgrade a unit, Sunderstone? Seems good to me. Seems good to me. Okay, that's nice. Alright, Magic Shop says -1s. Anything that can be made free should be made free, I think. Basically. Every single Ember is relevant here. We'll make Wildwood Tome cost nothing. The 20 consume, I think we're going to chill with. I like my restores. Reroll this. Holdover at long last. Alright, we're pretty golden now. I don't need to worry too much about some other things that are possibilities. Whew, okay, great. Fantastic news. Now, if I'd known that holdover was there, I might have considered Furnace Tap being, what is it, remove consume, but that's okay, I think. I am going to make Preserved Thorns free. We're going to go ahead and cut... What? What am I cutting here? That's a difficult question. Wildwood Sap, I think, can go. And honestly, what do you even cut from here? I'm just vague. I'm looking at things like, interesting question. I think we could just cut a restore, right? The thing I have to be careful, we have 2 slots open, right? A +30 and a +10 in piercing could be supported here. So I think we're going to take the restore out. One of these can go, and that's fine. All right, we'll move on. Great. So I shouldn't have put a -1 in that one. Hey, it's fine, but I've been using that for multiple floors. All right, I think we hold on now and we win this run at least, but it's not great. We're definitely not winning, but we might not lose, which is, I'm going to be clear, itself a boon. Blast this man. I want the good one mid-floor here and the bad one up top. And I don't care about the Train Steward, so he can kind of get shot. Oh yeah, wait, he stole the Emblem of the Exiles. Interesting, interesting. Doesn't matter. Mid-floor is cleared. I'm going to go ahead and Wildwood Tome here and blast it. I wonder if... I should have just played this bottom floor, huh? Interesting. I think actually it should have just been a bottom floor play. We can definitely get it here. I wonder if I should have done that for Arcus. Maybe. Maybe, now that I'm thinking about it. Interesting. That's something I should have considered, potentially. It's a good draw order here. This probably wouldn't have worked if I hadn't seen this whole setup, but we definitely pull it off. I'm going to shoot this guy on mid-floor here. Great. Cool. And I think we are cruising now. Void Binding. We'll draw cards. Play this guy middle. I'm actually just going to kill him again. Doesn't matter where I play stuff. I think we pretty cleanly win this from this position. With any luck, maybe we roll like... I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example of what we could hit here. But sketches would be obviously good, I think. But we're very far ahead right now. Especially because I think we were pretty close to drawing every card every turn anyway. 10-10. At this point, I actually think I didn't need this holdover. We have just enough cards that this would have been fine. And then the stings get you the 10 draws and you're okay, right? Look at that. We actually do not need anything else here. If we hit these, if we play the stings out and do everything as we have it. Okay, sure. Give me sketches, maybe, and this will clean up even better. Shard, Channeler, no, I don't need that. Pyrogrow, funny, but no. Invigorating Solution, no, I think we're good. Great. Another Void Binding is not bad. I'll click it, yeah. That seems decent. Speed me up even more. We're going left, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and look at this Trinket Shop. Pyrestone Housing is not great. Re-roll this. Sketches. Cool. That shapes what I'm going to be duping here. And that's good for me. We're going to make another one of Big Animus. Great job. I'm going to go ahead and do my Train Steward infusions, and I don't even have to remove them anymore because they just get sketched out, which is great. And then I can Tenon Piercing here, do 23, it's fine. This spell chain is probably going to go into... What if I just put this into Void Binding, right? It's basically a double stack that just costs more Ember, but we're okay because we generate 6 a turn. What else am I doing my Ember on? Sure, I'll do that. Fine. I don't even have to remove anything. I just sit on my money at this point and we're good. I could take Sap Tap. Sap Tap is a draw, which is nice. The nice thing about that is it potentially draws me around again. I actually think Sap Tap is worth it here. If it gets me to draw around 1 extra Void Binding quicker, we might get a kill. So let's move on from here. 280 out of 100. I think we finally stabilized. It is still pretty gross, however. We've done I would say, a poor job overall. Definitely not the #1, but that's okay. That is okay. Now, we do have a melee weakness in front. Everything is going to be shuffling around, but eventually it won't matter. Just keep shooting this floor. I am going to sting middle, so we push good numbers here. I'm actually going to kill the guy on middle on bottom. Do damage to the boss. It's a really good turn on that boss. Things shuffle around, but it's okay. Keep buffing the one that goes first. And give it quick. Give it Furnace Tap. Give it everything. And we should be able to... We should be able to actually kill pretty much everything here. And then he goes middle and we kill the boss right now. Is basically how this works. It's pretty close to killing the boss right now anyway. Gosh, really? We actually don't get it, believe it or not. Dang, alright, well, fair enough, I suppose. A little too slow for that turn. Alright, well, there you go. What if I self-ping the boss myself here? It's tough because I would sure like to kill the boss next, but maybe I don't play Sentient. Let's try again. This time, I'm not going to play Sentient. Right, I think this time the angle is don't play Sentient. And we simply push numbers the best that we can. Hit the boss, yes. Sure, it does not matter. We're not going to play her. I want to force them to bounce back to this floor, right? I think that's pretty important. I'm going to go ahead and keep buffing the same one here. I think that's relevant. Big numbers. Furnace tap, obviously. Sting, sting here. No one's taken damage. Fine. Sure. Now, the unfortunate thing is it's going to be harder for me to push numbers here, but I do think it's possible. Right, we can go shoot, stab, stab. And then we get big buffs here, which is pretty good. Now, I would like to avoid getting cut. So let's go Sentient up top now, so that this will bait Seraph without cutting my buffs, right? Goes upstairs, great. I just sting this out, and now he is forced to eat dirt here, which is great news. And then we're guaranteed the kill next turn, and this will have to do. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything we can do to speed this up, right? Yeah, I don't think so. What a weird one. Well, we at least get... Oh, no! What do you mean, Seraph? Ugh. I'm not dealing with that. He decided he was like, I'm gonna hit Sentient twice. Grotesque. That wouldn't have happened if I had done the other way around. Ugh. Well, what if we put Sentient upstairs anyway and just kind of let it ride, right? Is that something we could consider here? I think it is something we could consider. Push some numbers here. We can definitely guarantee that this, I think, maybe increases our overall damage potential. And see, he pushes but then leaves. It's a bit interesting in that respect. I'm not really sure what all could be done that prevents that cut, but that's okay. We can at least guarantee some boosts here. Alright, and then we just sting the boss on this one. Okay. See, he did it again. He got out of the way, which is really wrong. It's really not what I want here. Very strange. Not a big fan of it when you do it like that, my guy. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, I suppose. Mid-floor doesn't really matter, so we'll go bottom. Now, you have to go middle here. What do you mean? You've just dodged me twice? I tell you what, this guy really doesn't want to die. The behavior on this Seraph has been wild. Alright, Sentient is a mistake based on how this is playing out. So it's just play middle and we'll just eat all of our curses and be fine. Sure. I'm actually just going to get a Sentient shot, I think. Just stop trying to keep her alive, right? I think, get her killed, basically, is what I'm coming down to on this one. That seems like the correct choice. Yeah. Let's get her killed, is the play here. So, she'll bait a little bit, and that's okay. And here's, see, she dies on this floor, which I actually think is what we want. I don't want to do a big heal here. This is how much? 40, 80, 90? She lives if I do it the other way. So, alright, with that in mind, let's play this out mid-floor. And simply... Do you still win? 40, 54? No. 90. If we blast front and then self-ping, we do still get this, and then we can sting once here, and I think we're okay. This feels like the right choice for how to approach this. So she does die. Okay. And it's like, oh no, look, look at what we've done here. Dang. How do we get out of this situation? And the answer is a lot of damage. Sting, sting, and sting push big numbers. Now, importantly, the one behind actually benefits the most from this because all of these numbers get pushed into the boss, which is kind of a fun realization. So, the one behind benefits because of the melee weakness pop there. So, that's actually an interesting one. Now... we then sting here. I'm going to work this next floor is the most important one to push through here, right? I believe so. So let's pull forward, sting there. Alright. Now you have to go middle because you have no choice. Okay. With this in mind... how do we defeat this? The first play is for sure the Engraft, which gives me the Vine Grasp, which kills this man, pushing some numbers through. Now, how do I defeat this? Let's go ahead and we buff here. 81, 160, 81, 160. It's good. The nice thing about that is... 4 of those hits kill these 2. Because they do 81, 162 now, which is 240. So if I buff anything else, it gets into the boss here. And we get the kill right there. Great job. Okay, we did it. This is, I guess, the best we're gonna get. Sure, 6-turn boss rush. Fine. I'll take blank pages. Everything's going to be big, but we have a lot of space, so I'm not mad about it. And Sentient's probably going to die anyway, so it's fine. She might not. It's good if we can keep her alive on this one, actually. But we'll see, I suppose. Alright, brother, what you got? Sentient, great news. Go shoot somebody. Cool. We're going to go ahead and buff middle one here. Even if it cycles around, I'm not mad about it, because this one will also have the quick, and we'll hit a bunch. I'm going to stab one of these guys. It's fine. Every one that we can kind of get some floor space clearance on is good. Yo, absolutely hype. Big man, huge man, just punch. Huge man, punch. Very good. Good. Huge man, punch. Big fan. Alright, cool. Big buff here. Damage number, good. Let's play out Preserved Thorns and then sting one of these guys out, which pushes some numbers through. We can then pop here. Now, Rector, I could just sit upstairs and have him punch for 145 every turn, which is, you know what, pretty decent. But he can also chill down here and punch as well. That is a decent amount of just free damage, right? So that's cool. Great. Keep buffing. Good job. Big numbers. Very big numbers. Sting out. Engraft shoots one down. Great. I can then push some amount of health through here, which is good. Strong. We clear middle. Excellent. And then we just... that lets us just funnel all these stats into the boss here, which will mean we get a kill next turn. Fantastic work. Great job. Cool, we did it. Good. Excellent. We actually come pretty close to just absolutely... Actually, we do blast this boss here, too. Look at this. Actually kill chains on bottom floor. Don't even need to use our guy. I mean, we're obviously winning on middle, but still. We didn't actually need to have him move up, which is nice. 6-turn boss rush here, also solid. Pretty decent. Thank you, Blank Pages, for free hundreds of damage. Do we think we got top 10? You think we're over 70? I don't think we're over 70 after that Ring 4 performance. I don't know. It seems pretty bad. It seems pretty awful, if I'm being honest with you. But let's find out. Okay, 76. All right, back to the challenge. Sure, sure. A number 2 performance is actually quite shocking. Didn't expect it. Ah, yeah. Just infinite, I guess. Right? Remove consume -2 here on the Awoken's Rail Spike. Play 1 billion cards. I mean, we talked about that. It's actually interesting that that performed so well, right? They left the Edge Prior in. I guess you might as well. Doesn't hurt. Interesting. Well, fair enough. I mean, at that point, you just kind of play a bunch of stuff. Yeah, you generate Ember here in order to be able to play them again on future turns. You go real fast. Yeah, 10 turn, 9 turn. Not surprised. And then your stat scaling is what? How are you actually increasing Animus's damage? Oh, no, you're using Explosive to you're one-turning with Explosive. Incredible news, actually. Fantastic. Well, I mean, I even talked about this as a possibility. It's not something I'm used to, but it certainly works. Explosive, actually, very helpful on this particular one. Let me be clear. Clearing out those floors. This is, again, another great example of a Covenant 1 that stats are in Sentient's favor. Explosive in the pre-DLC, by the way, in case you have forgotten, was awesome. Probably Sentient's strongest path. A very, very consistent wave clear, completely capable of just sundering floors, and then all you needed to answer was how do I win Relentless, which is usually a lot easier than answering double heavies. Now, obviously, the DLC changed a lot, and Sentient kind of fell by the wayside, in large part because Elite upgrades means that the numbers on the stats don't work out in Sentient's favor. She's less efficient, right? So very sort of different mindset. There's a lot of things you could do to Sentient to make her feel better. You can change these numbers and increase the percentages, the damage numbers, but I actually think potentially what I would probably do in a hindsight is just give her AoE damage, so instead of the front enemy unit, she hits the whole floor. If she had wide damage, she'd be very good. And she'd be regarded as something similar to like Imperialist, right? Which I think would be very good. Especially since she competes on Rejuvenate triggers with a much better line, Awoken Hollow. So, interesting. We actually crushed with sketches of all things. Kind of wild. I'm interested if someone else did this sketches nonsense. No, I guess not. They didn't see it or didn't buy it, I suppose. Yeah, a lot of tiny stones. I'm not surprised we're going to see tiny stones here, but I'll be honest, yeah, I should have quick on my guys, right? I should have quick on my guys, but I didn't purchase it. I ended up making up for it with a tome, which I guess worked in my favor, but it's interesting. Ours was much cleaner, right? Where'd they lose? Did they lose anything else? How did they score 2k behind me? They only took 5 on ring 1? I guess I only took 5 on ring 1. My ring 4, I took 108 damage. So, yeah, okay. They gained a 1.6k on that. They, I guess, bottom floored Talos. Just a lot of cleanup overall compared to me, right? A lot cleaner. Whatever they decided to do in the early game was much smarter than what I did. So, that's interesting. There's definitely some room to grow here, I think. Room to, like, for me to figure out. Like, I could have cleaned this up and potentially pulled 80k plus, right? Look at this. This 1.6, 600, that's 2.2, 1.5, so that's 2.35. Could have had a bottom floor on Harvesters for 300, so that's 2.55. I could have gotten bottom floor here. We could be like 3k higher. I'd be at 79k if I had just played these earlier combats better. Now, of course, they even ended up with more Pact Shards than me. What did you dupe? I took everything, right? Did I miss something? It's interesting. They got the highest score with 235. That's actually a big brain of them, right? Absolutely crazy. This person played so much better than me, and I won because... How did I win? I don't know. I pre-relentless. Okay, it's because I bought sketches, I guess. I had the money to buy sketches, and they bought it, and they didn't. Interesting. Why didn't they buy sketches? Maybe their line required getting Sentient on the floor somehow? Possibly. They didn't go explosive, so that potentially answers some of it a little bit. I don't know. It's a little interesting. I'm curious why they didn't purchase the sketches. They clearly purchased like a shadow box, which is wild, but sure. I guess they're relying on shroud mitosis for that. Interesting. You know, it's kind of strange. I don't see why they wouldn't take the sketches here, but okay. Yeah, with sketches, it seems like they should win, right? I guess they felt like maybe they were jamming everything on one floor, actually, because they took the tiny stone, whereas I had big stone. Maybe that's the big difference. That got me, what, like a 3k difference here on these last two. They had a much slower Chaste and Divinity kill, so that's how I pulled ahead. Man, I could have been flat 80k, it looks like, and had a much better performance. I did really bad in this early game and the mid game, and the truth is, I was even talking about it. I was way outside my comfort zone on how to navigate some of those. It was very kind of uncharted territory of like, does explosive perform well here? I don't know. We've got elite upgrades, but they're all Covenant 1. I don't know those health thresholds offhand. This is an interesting meta for me because despite the fact that I have 3,000 hours in the game and a lot of experience at Covenant 25, this is a whole different ballgame at Covenant 1. I'm impressed we got number 2. That's great. Go us. I'm very pleased that we managed to pull this off. And Explosive Sentient, it seems, I think, was correct. In hindsight, yeah, I think you want to go this route when you have the ability to do it. So, cool. Very cool. And it's a very different run than the number 1, too, which is nice. So, anyway, I'll let you go there and get this uploaded so you can all watch it and complain about how poorly I performed the first 6 rings. But anyway, we'll go from there. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.